Will they, won't they? That question, it seems, has now been answered. Pakistani-led mediators have received a confirmation from both the Americans and the Iranians. The confirmation is that JD Vance from the US and Mohammad Ghalibaf, the parliamentary speaker of Iran, are expected to arrive early tomorrow to lead their respective delegations. This is the big confirmation coming, this development raising hopes for fresh engagement, even as tensions remain high and the fragile ceasefire hangs in the balance. Shinjoy, I'm coming to you straight. There is now, has the question mark now ended? Is it now clear and certain that the Iranians will show up in Islamabad tomorrow?
Well, the Pakistanis want that to happen, which is why they're talking about it. Well, we'll know for sure when JD Vance gets onto that plane. And that could happen in a little while. The point here is that if JD Vance has got onto that plane, it will mean that he definitely knows that he is not going to land in Islamabad, shake hands with Shahbaz Sharif and walk into an empty room.
Sure.
When he walks into that room, he will have the Iranian representatives there. That's why he's getting onto that plane. So very clearly, there is hope and expectation that both sides will be in Islamabad.
Sure.
And there is also will come out of this meeting.
Give me a moment here, because even ahead of those talks, there is sharp rhetoric which continues. Iran state broadcaster, the IRIB, has taken a swipe at the Americans, specifically Donald Trump, saying that the Strait of Hormuz remained open until quote-unquote foolish gamblers triggered the crisis. On the other hand, there's a response from Donald Trump, who has accused Tehran of violating the ceasefire multiple times, therefore raising fresh doubts over this fragile truce and whether it comes. With both sides trading barbs, uncertainty therefore looming large on the ceasefire and the future of negotiations. But is this just rhetoric? Possibly. Meanwhile, striking a confident note, and this is news just coming in, ahead of these negotiations, Donald Trump is saying he expects a great deal with Iran. The US president is asserting that Tehran has no choice, signaling strong confidence from Washington as talks approach. Is this psyops? Possibly it is. But there is more coming in. Amidst this rising rhetoric, ahead of the next round of talks, again a tough message from Donald Trump to Iran. Trump says he doesn't want to extend the ceasefire, asserting that the US is fully loaded and ready, even admitting that the truce period was used to restock military strength. As Washington signals military readiness, the message to Tehran is clear: negotiate now or risk escalation. Shinjoy, let me come across to simply come across to you with a simple question. Here we are, and there's possibly a confirmation that the Iranians will show up in Islamabad, which means the two sides will talk. And ahead of the two sides being, possibly talking, you have Donald Trump and his rhetoric that doesn't seem to cease. Ahead of those talks, look at what he's saying. He's saying we'll get a great deal because Iran has no choice. And we are locked and ready. If the talks fail, bombing will start.
Thing is, this brinkmanship, the question that comes up is, will this actually help the people in the room? When things like this are said by both sides, it basically ensures that the people in the room have painted themselves into corners. That makes any kind of deal, and deal is probably the second favorite word of the president, after tariffs, of course, is makes the deal more difficult to arrive at. Because here, all these things are said. Then you do the deal or you do your meeting and you're already cornered because of what has been said by both sides. You have said certain things already. You can't go back from it. This applies to both sides. So what all this does, this brinkmanship, actually makes the conversation between two sides more difficult.
Okay.
Now, how this will work, we don't know. Maybe this will help, we don't know. But normally speaking, this kind of brinkmanship before such a sensitive meeting, is it the right way to do things?
Okay.
That's really the question.
Okay.